it's Alicia here on AMaeTV, and I am actually bringing you a different sort of a segment because I've been so fortunate to meet up with fellow travel vlogger Gabriel Morris. His channel is Gabriel Traveler on YouTube, so definitely check it out. Gabe, how are you?
Hey there, doing good.
Awesome.
Glad to be here.
Absolutely, I'm so glad I got a chance to meet up with you, and you have like traveled all around the world as a backpacker for many years now and have this amazing YouTube channel like documenting all of it. Tell me, what are some of the places you've been?
I've been traveling for 25 years now. I've been to 30 countries so far. My first trip was to Europe. I've also been to India 6 times, twice to Greece, 3 times to Thailand, all around Southeast Asia, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Turkey, Egypt. The past year I spent in Latin America, including Mexico, Belize, and Guatemala, and then South America, Colombia, Peru, and Ecuador. That
is amazing. There's like 10, 15 of those places I'm like dying to go.
Yeah.
But before I ever did anything like that, I would need to learn from you some backpacking tips. And I understand that you have some as a backpacker.
A few.
Picked up some along the way. So tell us like your top 5 backpacking travel tips.
So obviously one of the first considerations for most people, unless you happen to be, you know, super rich, is money. And so flights eat up a lot of your travel funds. So a good tip is just to be very flexible with flights if you can be, and possibly with your destinations as well. For example, I wanted to fly to Peru back in last August and September, and I was checking flights to Peru, and then I happened to check to Colombia and they were way cheaper. I managed to fly round trip to Colombia and back for less than $300 from California here. And so peruse the various travel booking websites like crazy, find the various options, check out Skyscanner. You can plug in your destination as everywhere. So wherever you want to leave from, and then you put everywhere for the destination, and then it will tell you the cheapest places you can fly to. And so you might come up with some good ideas for places to fly.
Right, so not like a traditional vacation, but as a traveler, you're flexible on dates and destination.
Yes, and you might consider booking your flights one at a time so that you have flexibility as well with how long you're going to want to stay somewhere, where you might go from there based on what the cheap flights happen to be. There can be crazy amazing deals that you just stumble across, which then save you $500 or whatever.
It's amazing. More money to travel. So what about actual backpacking? How on earth do you carry all of your stuff?
So tip number 2 would definitely be to pack light as you possibly can. Go through your stuff that you're thinking of bringing, spread it all out on the living room floor, and go through it all one by one, every little thing, and consider, do I need this, do I need that? For example, if you're going to bring a laptop computer, then get a smaller size computer. I have this tiny little laptop that's about that big, and that saves considerable space and weight. And so look at your things and what can you turn into a smaller item, you know, less stuff to bring, what is truly essential. When in doubt, leave it out pretty much, because oftentimes you can buy what you need abroad if it turns out, oh, I forgot such and such, or I need such and such. Especially if you're going to cheaper countries, India, Thailand, South America, then you can find items there that are you know, going to be cheaper, and also then it's a new thing for you, a new souvenir, new clothes, and whatnot. And so you know, if you're not sure if you need that sweater or whatever, leave it out, and then if it turns out you do need it, then you can buy a Peruvian sweater or whatever when you get to your next destination. So just keep in mind, you know, as much as you can, how can you get that bag smaller so that it is easier to you know, stuff into a bus, easier to carry around with you when you're walking around a town trying to find a hotel, etc. Because that is something that is going to be a daily situation of how much stuff you got to lug around.
All right, what's the next big backpacking tip?
How can you make money from your travels? If you actually want to travel long-term, make it a regular thing and make it an integral part of your life, how can you actually make money from your travels? So, you know, I started traveling 25 years ago. For basically 20 years, then I was just bopping around, working odd jobs, making the money however I could, and then blowing it on travel, and then end of that trip, I'm out of money, and then I gotta go back and find another job. And you know, I'm getting older here, and it's time to think a little you know, more in advance and look at my future and how can I make this sustainable. And so I'm now making money from YouTube and from ebooks that I have for sale on Amazon. And so what are some things that you can think of in the course of your travels? Start up a travel channel. Do you have a book? Do you have some kind of skills that you can do online while you're traveling? Can you, for example, teach English to people via Skype? I met a woman in Thailand that was doing that and was supporting herself by a few Skype sessions a day. And so think about that. What skills do you have? How can you turn your travels into a money-making thing so that you can prolong them and at least cover some part of your travel costs?
Right. Yeah, definitely. That's always a big question people have. They want to know how YouTubers afford it, and then we all must be rich and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there are definitely ways to make money from your traveling, whether it's through YouTube or just being a blogger. A lot of bloggers they're just writers and photographers, and they'll be able to make some money off their blog. But Skype, teaching English overseas is a big one, but I didn't know you could do it over Skype now.
Yep. And then people can pay you through PayPal. It could just be your own personal business.
Right.
Or you do some kind of business consulting or career counseling or something that you can do online with people that might be on the other side of the world or whatever.
Right. Also anything that's digital and freelance. So if you can be a graphic designer or you can be a content writer, a lot of creative stuff. I know I've done a lot of freelance work that way. The skills could be all across the board. People could do a lot of different things thanks to the internet.
Yes.
And technology enables us to travel.
Yep.
So your next big backpacking tip.
A simple little tip is to have your own breakfast. Alicia has experienced this. We went on a desert road trip to Joshua Tree National Park this past weekend, and I had my big bag of granola/muesli. So breakfast obviously is it's an expense. It's a time waster in the morning. Obviously, sometimes it's nice to go out for breakfast, and some hostels and hotels will provide a free breakfast. But otherwise, find something that you can just break out in the morning, munch on it and go without having to go down to the restaurant, wait for the waiter, pay them 10 or 15 bucks or whatever. Over time, that could be a huge money saver and also free up your day so that you can just get out and get going.
Right, I know, I hate being hungry first thing in the morning, and the muesli was amazing because, okay, so this is different than what you think. You've got regular granola you can put milk on, but chances are you're not traveling with milk, so the muesli, explain how exactly it works with adding just water.
So I go to my local health food store and go to the bulk bins, and I get granola and raw oats, and so I get about an equal amount of each, however much you might want to bring. And then I will go through the other bins and get like shredded coconut, raisins, sliced almonds, maybe carob chips or chocolate chips, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, whatever. And the deal with the raw oats is that you can then pour regular cold water into it, and the raw oats kind of turn it into a little bit of a milky thing in there. And then I get a little bit of sugar, like you could get regular sugar or evaporated cane juice, one of the things in the bulk section there. And you put a few spoonfuls of that on there, pour on water, and that's it. You're good to go. So you don't need to heat up water, you don't need milk. It's very simple, easy, and very cheap.
And it's really good.
And it's actually good. If you do the mixture right, then yeah, it comes out really tasty.
Yours was really good.
So the next tip is to book accommodation online. Booking online is a great way to both find deals and also find places that you like. You show up in a town and you're just walking around, checking things out, and that can be quite a trial, trying to check out a number of different places, walking around with your backpack, and then you look at one place and they kind of give you the guilt trip if you aren't going to take it and whatnot. All of this can be solved by booking ahead of time online, and it could be the day before, it could be the very same day, but it is nice to have your accommodation booked the night before, and then you get on a bus, and then you just get there and you have a place waiting for you that you've already scoped out. And by reading through the reviews, checking the photos, you can get a pretty good idea of what the place is really like. I had great accommodation throughout South America this past trip, almost all of which was booked online. Hostelworld.com, Booking.com, Hostels.com, Hotels.com. There are lots of websites that you can use.
Definitely, and I'll put links to a few of those in the description below and also in the blog post on AMaeTV. So lots of great information here, Gabe. Thank you so much for sharing with my viewers, and hopefully this will inspire some epic world travels for a lot of people.
I hope so, and feel free to check out my channel, Gabriel Traveler. Should be a link below.
Yes, a link below. And also, Gabriel has written an amazing book called Budget Travel.
Gabe's Guide to Budget Travel.
Gabe's Guide to Budget Travel.
Which has all kinds of practical information, and then Following My Thumb, A Decade of Unabashed Wanderlust is my book of travel stories.
Yes, really great stories. And he's actually just given me this book and autographed it for me, so I look forward to reading it. And you can too, just order it at the link below. All right, Gabe, we'll talk to you again soon.
Cool, happy trails.
Bye, everyone.